Hello, my good friends. It's Roger from Mud Fossil University. And before I get into this is Tyson's latest video. It's absolutely phenomenal. Abrupt transition, tendinous, fibrils. We're going to get into this. But if somebody made some assumption that I made a statement that the people that did the DNA report said they were giants. No, I never ever once said that. Never. Zero. I showed the DNA report that was provided to me by Helix Biolabs. It was done very nicely. Now, someone apparently has got the wrong impression that says I am, because here's what happened. I was contacted by them saying that that I apparently was saying that they said I had giants, and I never ever said that. I said that they said I have human DNA, and that is exactly what they said in that document, and it is extremely well done. I gave them full praise for doing the job that they did, and all I expected and all I state is that they said the stuff that I submitted to them was human mitochondrial DNA. 2 sections, and let me show you the report right now, and then we're going to get into this, because apparently they're being assaulted by academia or somebody saying, oh, what are you doing, and we're going to give trouble, because I was very surprised to hear that. Anyway, let me just show you the report. And that's all I'm claiming. So if that, because he said you're going to have to make a disclaimer and all this stuff. Well, I'll disclaim that. If somebody thinks I'm making them the claimer that these are giants, absolutely not. No. This is what I'm making them the claimer of. This is what I received back. I sent 3 specimens. And I show the things I sent over and over and over. And anybody that's an anatomist will understand what they are. And did. I had an anatomist look at it too. Now, so this is what I received back. This was, I sampled, he received them on 6/20/15 and did the testing from 7/1/15 of 2015 to 9/17 of 2015. 3 mud fossil samples. DNA extraction, PCR, DNA sequencing analysis. I extracted from these mud fossils from where I knew there was red blood, and I know what is red blood, and they were arterial extractions. So the fellow at the lab told me that he said they were dense DNA for ancient protocols, that normally they don't get them that dense. Because if you swabbed it, you're going to just get whatever's on the surface. No, I cleaned it, bleach, sterilized the tools, drilled in, removed that, drilled back in, put that in a little baggie, labeled it up, put it in another baggie, labeled that up, put them in a bag, put them in another bag. I'm sure I forget how many bags I used, but trust me, I was absolutely certain that these were isolated from each other and from me. And when he got it, he said, and I could play I have a recording that, I'm not going to play it because I think he knew that I recorded it, but it says that it wasn't any DNA contamination. I have that actual recording. I know that I said to him that I'm going to record this, so that I remember what he said, and I did. Now, the objective of the analysis to perform extraction genomic mitochondrial DNA from 3 mud fossil samples. Upon successful DNA extraction, the subsequent analysis will include the amplification extraction DNA using PCR techniques targeting specific DNA marker sequence to obtain DNA sequences. There's only 2 they check for, apparently. But they use all, I was very impressed with what they did. And all of the documentation, and I don't know, it looks good to me. If they're questioning their own results, well, then to do it again. But I am just saying that what I presented to them, I say came from giants. They say it is human DNA. So, take it from there. If I say it came from giants, giant humans, which it did, and he says it's human DNA, well, what do you say then? I'm not claiming he said it, I'm saying it. But they said it was good. It was good. Everything was good. So I'm saying they were Homo sapien, modern human. And that's exactly what he said. He said, I asked him, I said, they're monkeys, are they primates, or what are they? He said, no, no, no. They are modern human mitochondrial DNA. And I said, wow. All right. And this was Tom Pachenko from Helix Paleo Labs. He owns it. And he did a good job. I have nothing with Tom against him. I know probably he's being attacked because this is what happens when you bring out something and somebody they'll attack anybody they can attack. Now, I'm sorry if that is the case because he is a good lab technician and did a very thorough job, and I applaud him for his work. And anybody that's bothering him, come see me. And then you prove that my stuff is wrong. Don't go against Tom. Tom did his work. You want to say, come right here. You can extract it your own self. All right? That's the case. So let's talk about Tyson's stuff. And Tom, you did a fabulous job. Do not worry, my friend. I have never once in one single syllable ever said you were the one that said they're the giants, because you said they were modern human mitochondrial DNA. That's exactly what you said. And that's exactly what your report says, and that's exactly what I have said. All right, so nobody go against Tom. Nobody go against Helix Biolabs. He's a fabulous, fabulous technician and an excellent scientist. And it's about time the rest of you paid attention to people like Tom and did the kind of work he's doing. Unbiased. All right, that's my last word on that. Now we're going to go to Tyson. Tom, thank you, my friend. I appreciate your efforts, and they will be known as meritorious in the future. It's Roger once again, and today I am reviewing Tyson's video, Cape Arago Mud Fossil Project number 04. Now, Tyson is just in an area that is stunning beyond your wildest dreams. Now, what he is looking at here, I'm not certain, but to me, it might be muscle. All right, now you see this layer right there? That's an abrupt transition. I speak of those all the time. Now, the way your body functions, and it just happens, it comes up like with a tendinous area or the bony area, and then all of a sudden there's a layer that just is like glue. And it glues it's called the abrupt transition, and it just changes immediately to another tissue and invests into and I think this is the gluey area that takes on fibers, and the fibers run out through flesh. Normally, that's what that's what the anatomy is. Now, I haven't been up above and looked down, and I haven't been on the other side and looked this way, but you should be able to see, if it's flesh, and you cut it, you're going to see down inside the flesh where it was, and there's going to be patterns. Now, I don't see that. I haven't seen it, but I'm just going to cut to a couple things that Tyson's got here, because it's absolutely stunning. And this is enormous. You know what? Let me just let it play, and I'm going to have Tyson speak as he goes through this, and I will stop as I see things.
I had on my previous videos, and now I'm coming from the right going to the left. And so, in these two clips. You see it or not, but the pattern in that. You got it in here too, you can't see it as well. I'm going to try to get around there.
Now, you see this kind of reddish stuff, and you can see up there there's more, it's transitioning, in my mind, I could be wrong again, from like a shoulder type attachment into some fleshy area, and then it gets really fleshy.
Okay, so I just came from the right over to this, and I believe, in my opinion, all this would have been filled in. That would have been a layer of tissue, whatever it is.
I think it's muscle,
Okay,
but
I'm
not
trying
sure.
to get over
No,
around that
look
point.
at
I
this.
want to get it to you, but I ran to these on the beach and I wanted to.
All right, if you've been around mud falls, you understand. These are tendon enthesis balls. These balls attach to straps. The straps attach to whatever. They might attach to a muscle through tendon straps out. They might attach in your, your torso and pull the muscles and so forth into layers of tendon. There's all kinds of places. There's just literally thousands and thousands and thousands of them in your body. And these giants were giant, and there was the same number in them. And they cluster in these clusters. So here's goes. Because you're going to see the tendon straps, too.
To show you them.
No, you see they're all clustering. Now, you see them running out here?
Just run right out here in the line.
Now this, I'm not sure how. This is not even a real tough looking area here, but he's going to show some.
I'll him show you some of this. Pretty outstanding. How'd they know I was thirsty? Somebody left me a drink. Oh, they left me some sandals too. Huh, must have been Jesus. Left his sandals here. Anyway.
All right, check this out. Check that out. Now, nobody dug that. And I will show you some other ones that he comes up against. Absolutely phenomenal.
Look at this.
So, what do we got going? First of all, you see all the green? Every time I talk to people, I say, look for the green. You see the green? That's where blood is. This stuff is eating blood. It's eating blood. Now, the white parts and this kind of color, usually that's some very fibrous structural stuff that is the tendinous strappy stuff, and there's no real blood in those. That's why the blood comes here. Right?
Yeah, that's just by accident, right?
Look at that.
Isn't this cool? I used to run
Looks
right
like-
into there, but it's eroded away.
It will go right up to there,
That
and
one
then
there?
you'll see it again here in a minute.
You got this one here. And they ran right over into there. You got more.
All right, you see all. If you look down here, you can see all these little strappy-looking fibers. All right, what happens in body tissue, like even this tissue? This was a mud fossil rock. Now, if you could, this one doesn't have the same thing. It's way beyond the first original strappy. You get a real strappy section, and then it goes into, like, it's probably broke off here at the strappy area, and then it goes into the muscle. There's always abrupt transitions. That's the little tongue on the front. But at any rate, this is the tendinous straps. These aren't, nobody came out in here and raked this or anything, and this will erode away. And it's eroding away into something. And I don't know what, but he comes up with some other absolutely fabulous shots. Here goes.
More over here. So that's why I'm trying to show you this
see that?
biology of this creature.
Now that's a
I don't know what
that's a
this part is on it.
gigantic,
So
gigantic,
big or
gigantic
C or whatever.
creature. These are tougher and tighter straps.
That would have been another one here I just walked over. Sorry about that. This would have been another one.
See? Now he's going to go down
Straight
to
away
an
here.
area where I think it pinches off. You see this here? I believe this is, normally you would consider this a pinched area where the tendon is embedded here some in this layer here. This is the abrupt transition. We're going to follow this down. He's got some really good shots of this. And it comes down and comes out like this. And then at this point it would spread out and go into muscle tissue. And this is the tendon, that strappy stuff that filters through it, as he was just showing. Now, let's look down. I think this was the one. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, you can see, this is tendinous, fibrous straps that are sticking out this way, and then the muscle builds its way into these straps, and then the muscle takes on a predominant effect. I'll show you the anatomy in a second, but this is I mean, that's what it is.
Trying to go over here and show you some of this.
Now
pulled my
over
nose back
there,
when I fell down a while ago.
Look, see, this is all that strappy tendon stuff. Absolutely no question what I see here. I understand it 100%, and you will in a second. There's a real tough one there. The other ones aren't quite as tough. But this is the strappy. And you always have like a really, you always got a real tough strappy one running through these. You know how you get them in your sirloin. Okay, now look, here's the deal. Look, this is obvious. You see this? This was anchored here somewhere. That was anchored. Then it started to go into the tendon. Now above this anchor, I don't know why it broke off, but it was bone or something. The bone is the weakest. Really, there's a weak spot. And the bone probably was up here and eroded away. And here you are at the anchor. And then all of that fibrous stuff ran out until it infused with blood and so forth. And you could see it's growing green in here. There's a lot of green spots. And you saw that big matted green thing with the stripes coming through it. That's what makes tissues function. You have to have this rigidity in there. And these are tough, and they are not flexible to any degree. They are just like a steel strap. That you can get, I think there's about 2, maybe 3% tops in tendons. Now, and they are strappy and tough. And you can see where they're coming from. Now let's go look at the anatomy, and then we'll leave it at that. But well, I just want to show you one other thing. There was one other. There was a time. Hold on, let me find it. All right, check this out. This just looks to me like bacon. Now, there's going to be a section here. I always talk about layers. Now, you saw how huge this creature is. We are down in tendon. I'm sorry, in membranes and so forth. And wait till you see how many layers are even down at this size of a creature. Where do you see this?
Some places in through here, there's a lot of red in through here, and this layer right in through here.
This is bacon.
And I believe up on top here you would have your skin. I believe that's probably going to be a layer of flesh or interstitium, the smaller stuff over in here possibly.
He's going to come up to in a second.
On top of it.
Oh, there it is. Look at this. You see that number of layers? I've been talking about bacteria living in these layers. So think about in us. You see how many layers of stuff there is. This would be like 30 feet thick. I mean, like in us it's going to be just microscopic. But in this creature, this kind of stuff might be 20 feet thick. Think of the number of layers. And we would have the same number of layers, only they're just thinner in us. That's the way I'm going. Absolutely phenomenal. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that. How could they get that many layers in a creature this big, in this small, because it's only about this wide.
Let me back up here.
Absolutely phenomenal. Look at this. Look. That's it. That's it. Case closed. Here it is. This is nothing more than tendon fusing itself into muscle. And above, whatever was above, broke away. That's where it would have attached right there. That's the abrupt transition. Trust me, I know these things. All right, there's a ton of different tendon emplacements, but you get this strappy stuff, which there's an abrupt transition, another abrupt transition, and then it sort of filters these tendon fibrils in through the muscle to give the rigidity so that you can move. This is one of those tendon balls like Tysons got, only his are sticking up out of the, and no straps. The straps usually break off. Now, there's other muscle like this. That's an abrupt transition. It depends on where it is. I'm telling you, this is just absolutely amazing, but it is what we have. You see how they come up and how abrupt the transition can be? And this is the way they sweep up, exactly like Tyson had. Different circumstances. This is in the desert. He's being eroded by water, so there's different thing. But you could see the same sort of situation, just exactly what he had, only it was dug deeper, and there was areas that were red, and those were the areas that grew the green stuff. these are the kind of attachments, I believe, where Tyson is, where they abruptly hook into something like that. And they feed in and swish into that. And somewhere wherever the reddest parts are is where the most blood would be, and that means the most green.